Hey, good afternoon everybody. It's about 4:57. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm finally up and about. Considering, of course, I did a video about 4 something in the morning, about 12 hours ago. A little over 12 hours ago. Well, because I was also up still. But also, I just needed a lot of rest today because mainly, well, one, my mom got me up. Oh, didn't get me up, but she woke me up a little bit. And then this morning to tell me something, and then that was about it. And then I rested as much as I could, got up, laid down on the couch here in the living room, and got up a few times, and then that was just about it. I mean, I was done. I guess you could say what I mentioned in the previous video kind of comes to light. Without a certain machine to help you without pulling carts, it does get to you a lot more than normal. So, anyway, I want to welcome you to a video I have not done in a while. In fact, I think it's one of my first ones I've ever done in HD, no matter if it's a 1080 or a 720, and that is topics on my mind. Now this, in case some of you don't know what topics on my mind are, and hopefully this battery will last as long as it can to get some of these topics out there. Basically, it's a series of videos that I have done, and I guess we'll try to do again, where I talk about a variety of topics that have come out in recent, weeks, months, just dealing with a variety of stuff. So let's start this off by talking about a topic that I just found out about today. And I just found out about right now on the internet. And that is the fact that joining the likes of Ninja Turtles, joining the likes of Transformers, joining the likes of G.I. Joe, joining the likes, believe it or not, of Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Alvin the Chipmunks, Smurfs, believe it or not, joining the likes of those titles, including Yogi Bear. Joining the likes of all those franchises that have made the leap to CGI big screen, live action big screen, if you will, CGI or just straight up live action. Power Rangers themselves, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, are coming back to the big screen. Now, some of you might say, well, this wouldn't be the first time Power Rangers are going to the big screen, and you're right. You're right. Back in 1995, almost 20 years ago, well, about 20 years ago, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers did make the leap to the big screen. Now, the first movie was based off the first 3 seasons of Power Rangers. Well, actually, yeah, basically was a movie adaptation of the series, but based off the first 2 seasons and what we would get later on in the 3rd season. So basically, it was a movie adaptation of what the 3rd season was going to be. But it was more like a cinematic version of Power Rangers. And again, like I say, cinematic version based more around the first 2 seasons that followed, that came before with a more cinematic feel. I guess you could say that the director at the time, I can't think of, and I know his name was Brian, but it wasn't Brian Singer, it was Brian something else. I guess wanted to make this that movie adaptation of Power Rangers sort of feel like it was in the same category as what Ninja Turtles was, and so forth. So we had that, and then 2 years later we had Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, which of course was a movie based in the same universe as the original shows. And what I mean is, it takes place between Zeo, it's the series that it's based off of, and everything that comes afterwards. So yeah, unlike what they did with, unlike what they did 2 years before, where we had 2 different versions, a television version and a movie version of how they got the ninja powers. we get 2 years later a legit movie that straight up shows how they got their turbo powers and goes from there. So, yeah, Power Rangers are not really new and not unfamiliar with, being in the theaters. But, apparently, Lionsgate and Saban has made Lionsgate Films and Haman Saban, and the Saban brands have come to an agreement to bring Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back to the big screen in a more cinematic way. Now, we don't know much details exactly, except it's going to be based off the original characters of the original show, I'm guessing. And that, also, the fact that, in my opinion, again, we don't know much besides that, but in my opinion, we might have an origin story on our hands here, which might lead us into a series of films. Now, let me say this, that has not been confirmed just yet. But it sounds like that might be the direction Lionsgate wants to go. Now, Lionsgate, of course, as you know, isn't one of the big 4 or 5 studios out there. It's not a Disney. It's not a Warner Brothers. It's not Universal. It's not MGM. It's not Fox. It's not one of the big 5, if you will. All right. It's not one of the big 5. It's basically a mini major. It's kind of like, let's put it this way. You can look at the big 5 as being all WWE, and Lionsgate being like TNA. That's how you can look at it. And Lionsgate is also known basically for a lot of its direct-to-video releases. Of all the Marvel movies that they have done, all the animated Marvel movies they have done. And its successes that it's had, I guess, with the Twilight series and currently having with the Hunger series. So yeah. And those are the kids in the background, I apologize for that. So, yeah, like I said, those are kids in the background. I apologize for that. I don't know. Why do they do this when you're doing a video? Or someone's doing a video. But yeah, anyway, like I said, Lionsgate is basically known for that mainly. And known for a lot of us releasing a lot of the, releasing to theaters temporarily a lot of the WWE studio films. So anyway, that's basically what Lionsgate is going to try to do. I mean, they have had success theatrically with things like Twilight and currently with the Hunger Games series. But now the question is, can they find success in theaters with a cinematic reboot, if you will, Power Rangers? Now again, don't know much details except it's going to be based on the original characters, mainly based on the original series. But we don't know if it's going to be a reboot, if it's going to be right after the Power Rangers. We don't know. So, and we don't know if it's going to be a PG-related film, or Lionsgate will take the chance and say, hey, let's go PG-13 with these guys. We don't know. But we'll just have to wait and see. I do know that a lot of fans I can tell you right now, there's a lot of fans that do not want Lionsgate to take Power Rangers in the direction of Twilight and Hunger Games. Believe me, I think a lot of fans don't. I mean, we know there's romance in Power Rangers between Tommy and Kimberly. But I don't think they want it any more than just maybe that subtle hint that they're together or there's something there and that's it. Don't, do a movie that's like, oh, this is just Power Rangers version of Twilight or Power Rangers version of Hunger Games or whatever. See what I'm saying? Or Power Rangers version of Divergent. Get what I'm saying? But anyway, that is one of the topics that obviously a lot of people are talking about today. Another topic that if you're a fan of the new TMNT show, and if you're an overall fan of TMNT entirely, it's a topic that I've talked about in separate videos, and a lot of people have talked about it. Heck, I've typed up about it a lot, and so has other people. And that's this whole April, Donatello, Casey thing. Now, I said in a video, an audio video, and I think I even typed it up, that this love triangle, or love rivalry triangle, has to come to an end sooner or later. I mean, because honestly, you're going to drive a lot of your fans away with this entire thing eventually. I mean, I know there are some people that like what they see here. They enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's a lot of people that like and enjoy what they see with this whole triangle deal, but sooner or later it's going to get tiresome. And people are going to be like, when is it going to end? Why don't they just have to choose somebody and be done with it? Well, you see, that's Suro for you, the guy behind the series. That's him for you, and the rest of the creative staff behind it. It's like they have an opportunity to finally end it, but the only question is to when are they going to end it? And, you know, if they're going to go in the direction of April Donatello, because now in this universe, April's a mutant, you know? And I apologize, that's the dog next door. But if they're going to go in this direction of April being a mutant, then yeah, go ahead, pair her with Donatello, be done with it. You know, pair her with Donatello. Get it over with, do it. But if you're going to have this rivalry come to a head, though, and that's how you end it, maybe with her not choosing anybody, then yeah, go ahead, do the fight. So, to me, as intriguing as this might be, you can only go with it for so long. I mean, look, you did the Kirby Bat deal for as long as you did in the second season before you returned them to normal, or did you? So you can only go so long with this whole rivalry love triangle between between the three. You either have her go with Donny, be done with it, either have her tell Casey, look, I'm part mutant, it wouldn't work because I don't know what's going to happen to me in the future with this mutant power. I think I'm better off with Donny, or just say, you know what, I do look human, and Casey's the only person that makes me feel like I'm human. Just get it over with, as far as I'm concerned. Just have them, just end it soon. Okay, just have it end real soon. I mean, again, as intriguing as it is, it's sooner or later people are going to get tired of it, and they're going to ask the same question: when are you just going to have her choose? Because you can't just have her keep kissing Donatello on the cheek 3, 4, 5 times. Okay? You can't have her keep doing that without her acknowledging that maybe she's, fallen in love with Donny, and that maybe she and Donny can be an item. You can't do that, okay? You gotta basically make it official. You gotta make it happen. You gotta bring the rivalry to an end the triangle, because sooner or later, that's gonna drag your show down. Yeah, it works in certain universes and other franchises. It ain't gonna work in Ninja Turtles, believe me. It ain't. The only way a relationship works in Ninja Turtles if it's just one-on-one. And that's it. If it's just one-on-one, and that's it, and you guys know it. You guys know it. If it's one-on-one, it works. You can't do a triangle unless you're planning to bring it to a head down the line. So that's one thing that needs to be taken care of. Okay? You guys need to take care of that sooner or later. And speaking of TMNT, we find out at the end, sort of like a cliffhanger, if you will, at the end of the latest episode, from what my nephew has shown me, from what I've read, that Shredder wants Baxter, the Fly now, the new and improved Fly, to make him another mutant. But he doesn't specifically say what mutant, or who he wants to have mutated. Now, already people are guessing it's going to be maybe some unknown. Now, already fans are speculating, longtime fans, new fans, and all that are speculating. Some longtime fans that don't watch the show, or occasionally peek in on it, some that do, you get the idea. Just a variety of fans, whether they watch it, or they don't, or they peek in on it, or they don't, or read about it like I do, or get information from other sources, are all guessing exactly as to who Shredder's referring to as being another mutant. Now, the guesses already are out there. The guesses from like the likes of a Muckman to basically a random foot soldier becoming Muckman, to possibly trying to throw us off and say, hey, let's give him Bebop and Rocksteady, new and improved. We've seen the images already. To even himself to become the Super Shredder in this universe, or even Karai. That's right. Because according to, obviously, to someone from Playmates, Karai does get mutated. We just don't know what she's mutated into. Some are already guessing. Now, if it is Karai, which a lot of people are saying is probably the strongest guess you can get, a lot of people are already speculating of what she could be mutated into. Some are predicting that Karai might be mutated into Eloplex from the IDW series. Which, believe it or not, when I look at Eloplex, I look at the IDW's version of Ninjara. Why? Let's see. She starts out bad, she ends up going good, and she starts becoming friendly with Raphael. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. But anyway, they're predicting she could become Eloplex. They're predicting maybe she'll become Ninjara. They're even predicting she might become Venus. All these predictions are thrown out there, but yet they don't know if it is Karai. But from a variety of fans, whether they watch it or they don't, long time or old, long time or new, they're all guessing it's got to be someone. It's got to be one of those characters, or it could be a new original character. It might be a cat they mutate. Some are predicting that, hey, if it's Karai, she might get mutated into a cat, because what's the natural enemy or prey to a cat? Rats and mice. And gee, where did we see that before? Oh, that's right. Second season, original series, Catwoman from Channel 6 with April. That's right. So could we see that again? Could we see Ninjara become a cat? I mean, not Ninjara, but Karai become a cat and go after Splinter? See, nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen next in the show. Oh, as far as mutation goes. And like I said before, that is one of the good aspects of the show. You don't know what's going to happen because they keep you guessing. They keep you guessing. So that's one good aspect. I'll give them that. But the thing is, who is going to be mutated? And that's the one topic everybody else talks about. Is it Karai? Is it the Shredder? Is it some unknown foot soldier? Who is it? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Are we being thrown off because they're going to actually give us Bebop and Rocksteady? Nobody really knows. The only question is this, is that as far as the cliffhanger, from what I have read, indicates, this is going to be a big deal, this mutation. It's going to be a big one. Whether the mutant, let's say it is Karai, and that's the ice cream guy. let's say it is Karai, you know, it's going to be a big deal. And like I said, whether or not this mutant, big deal, whether it's a big, because it sounds like they're going to make it a big deal, ends up turning good at the end. If it's, let's say it's Karai, and let's say she gets turned into whatever, there you go. But I do see something happening. We just don't know what yet. And again, I'm not throwing at straws, you know, because with this show, like I said, like I mentioned, with this show, it's unpredictable. With this show, it keeps you guessing, so you never really know. You can't really figure it out. So to me, it's got to be, if it's just one mutation, the list could be endless. It could even be Irma for all we know, and she can end up becoming Mona Lisa. I'm telling you. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Even if she's the one, or that takes place in the future, I would not be surprised by that. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. But still, you never know. You never know. Now, one last topic, though. And this does have to deal with wrestling. Try to get it out there as best I can. But it's about John Cena. Now, I know, storyline-wise, he's in this situation with Bray Wyatt. And last night on Main Event,